A little bit about me. I've been a teacher since 1993, and I spent 14 years in a binational center where I was both a teacher and I did some admin work, observing and doing things like that, training teachers and so. Right now I'm a DOS, a Director of Studies at Cultura Inglesa. I've just changed jobs, getting used to it, yes, Nelly, since 1993. So observation is one of my main interests. I love observations, in both peer and formal observations, and I think it's a great tool for improvement and development of teachers. I think it's largely misused and underused in a sense. So it was through observation and actually talking to Paul Selisons, who came to do a talk here in the city the other day about teaching and the future of teaching and things like that, that I started thinking about this, and I decided to share my thinking and my reflection here in 10 for 10 in ELTP talks. So, okay, I'm not sure. Can you go to the next slide, please, Roll? Okay, thank you. So what do we see here? We see a classroom, right? We see students, we see computers, we see a blackboard, but what's wrong with this picture? There is no teacher, exactly. It hit me how we keep talking and we keep hearing discussions and people talking about the no teacher classrooms, new technologies and tools to help students learn on their own, that all this move towards independent learning and how teachers are becoming not useless, but I don't know, not as necessary anymore. And it started to hit me, and I started thinking, are we really moving towards a teacher-less classroom? Are we really moving is the future of teaching, does the future of teaching no longer involve teachers? And I started thinking about how is it possible that people are even considering that, because for me that's absolutely nonsense. That's crazy talk. How can there be classrooms and teaching without teachers, right? So I'd like to think how we may have become invisible, and what brought us here, right? Will there be a classroom then? So first, I think one of the things that initiated a lot of talking and discussing on the topic is, as you can see, a hole in the wall. But it was, there's been a lot of talk that was ignited by the hole in the wall experiment by Sugata Mitra. For those of you who are not familiar with it, if there is such a thing, people who haven't heard about it, but Sugata Mitra and his team of researchers did an experiment in which they placed a computer on a hole in a wall, and because he believed he was researching the possibility of unsupervised learning mediated by technology. He believed that uneducated, illiterate, basically people, children from this community could learn basic computer skills without any supervision, without any teacher, and what he called minimally invasive education. And he got results. He has results. The children did learn basic computer skills. And so the question was, so what do we need teachers for if people can learn on their own? I'm not saying that he was wrong and it's not that it's his fault that we've become invisible or anything like that. I believe that there are communities where technology enables people to get an education that otherwise they wouldn't, because there are no teachers around and there's very little resources. There are places that need that, but it's not everywhere. I'm going to move very quickly because I'm running out of battery. I should have thought of that. Sorry about that. Okay, so there's, okay, back. So it's not just technology and the hole in the wall experiment. You know, when you start thinking about that, when I started thinking about that, I thought about our context, GOT, and how we have been, what has happened in the last few years. You know, with the with CLT, with the communicative approach, there was this whole line of thinking where a teacher was not the possessor of all knowledge anymore. We gave up our roles as traditional, or our traditional roles as teachers, in the sense of those who impart knowledge to students, and teachers became more of, we were taught that we should be guides. We should guide the students, and the students are the ones responsible for their own learning. And that's not bad. You know, you have all of these new approaches to teaching. You have inductive and deductive grammar. We have guided discovery. We have so many things that allowed us, and we were taught to teach in a way with little teacher talking time, and just guiding students through learning. Even correction took a hit, took a blow by, you know, you have recasting and reformulation. We were trained to make our correction as little known, or as little noticeable as possible. And even when correcting writings, you know, no red pens anymore. Avoid making too many marks. Avoid the bloodbath in the teacher's, in the student's composition or so. And I don't know. I started questioning if we didn't go from one extreme to the very opposing extreme, and we went from being the teacher who, you know, in front of the class lecturing and imparting knowledge, to disappearing from the classroom totally. But as I kept thinking about it, I also started thinking it's very easy to blame technology. It's very easy to blame the methodologies and approaches and how we were taught to teach. The new technologies and new techniques and things that are being spread and taught to teachers. I think we have to take a little bit of the blame as well. I'm talking about myself, because I did that. I made my work, my importance, not visible in the classroom at many times. By doing that, by just guiding students and trying to make myself as invisible as possible. Okay, 1 minute, so I have to go. So my idea here is just, I'm not telling anybody, this is not a prescriptive session. This is, my idea is to make people think about it, that reflect whether we are doing our job so well that so much of our work is done away from the class, away from students' eyes, that students can't see our work, that can't see our importance in the classroom anymore. It's almost as if we have to bring our teaching more closer to the light bulb, like the invisible ink, and make our teaching and our importance in the classroom. Oh God, okay, I was going to talk about the importance of dialogic teaching and everything like that. It's too fast. The intention with my session here, this quick webinar, to make us stop and reflect about our own practices and how I believe we have to make it more visible to students and parents the work we do. And no, students can learn on their own, yes, but we make a difference, and they learn better, and with our guidance, we know the best ways to address individualities, and our guidance makes the difference. Sorry. Thanks, everyone.